the Cold War.
Last year, President Trump approved a new memorial to the Desert Storm War, but now its future is in flux after a commission of unelected bureaucrats voted against the proposed location on the National Mall.
Desert Storm War Marine veteran Lance Corporal Scott Strump is president of the Memorials Association. He joins us now. Sir, thank you so much for being here. And quickly tell us the story as to what is happening here.
Sure. This has been an 8-year journey so far. And we have been, after the approvals by Congress and the President, we've been working on the site selection process, which we found out can be fairly complex. And we started with a list of 100 potential sites. We winnowed that down pretty quickly to really 30 potential contenders. And then from that, we whittled it down to really about a half a dozen that we felt were, suitable, that met our criteria. And then we went boots on the ground, visited these sites. And I just want to point out that this list of sites, we didn't come up with that. That was something that's been established and it's out there. So we followed the rules. We followed to the letter of the law from the very beginning. We determined a site that we felt was the most appropriate. And at this point, we have had a series of meetings. There are 3 deciding entities that decide where the ultimate location will be. National Park Service, acting on behalf of the Department of the Interior, the National Capital Planning Commission, and the Commission of Fine Arts. And right now, we actually have a logjam because we have 2 of the deciding bodies that agree with us on our preferred site, and the Commission of Fine Arts does not agree with us.
Scott, where's the site? So this has been approved since 2014. If you could get approval, where would you put this right now?
Yes, sir. Our preferred site is at 23rd and Constitution. It's actually very close to the Lincoln Memorial. It's also just down the way from Vietnam. And, a Desert Storm is just absolutely forever linked to, Vietnam. All of our leaders were Vietnam veterans. I will argue that the reason why Desert Storm was such a rapid and resounding success is because the leadership were Vietnam veterans, and they weren't going to let what happened the first time around happen to us. So 23rd and Constitution is our preferred site.
Is there a way that people watching right now that are passionate about this memorial, is there a way they can help? What can they do?
Well, that's a great question. I guess that they can always let their opinions be known to the to the various commissions. The National Capital Planning Commission, Commission of Fine Arts. We respect the process. We have conducted ourselves as gentlemen from the beginning to the end, and we will continue to do so. However, it is kind of frustrating because we have some strong opinions which have been validated by 2 of the 3 deciding agencies or commissions in terms of where this memorial needs to be located. And we're not disparaging the other location. It just so happens that that location is very visible, but it's just not as accessible. And we feel that it's important that when somebody is visiting our nation's capital, that they're able to walk and learn that story of the history of this country in a pedestrian-friendly way.
Sir, I'm confused as to why the Commission on Fine Arts is doing this. Do you have any reason, any understanding why?
That's a really great question. I really don't. We've heard some objections in the past, such as, well, there are already too many war memorials on that end of the mall. And just to be clear, this is not the reserve portion of the mall. So this is technically, it is technically the mall, but it's not on the mall. We've heard some of those, types of objections. And again, if there were some valid objections, maybe there's an infrastructural problem that would cost tens of millions of dollars more or extend the timeline, we absolutely would move on. But there just hasn't been any real legitimate reason posed.
Lance Corporal Scott Strump, thank you for your service. We have the website up on the bottom of the screen. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, coming up, Congressman Diane Black, Candace Owens, country star John Rich, and golfer John Daly on this Memorial Day. And retired Navy SEAL Jocko Willink reminds us what we should be thinking about today.